And we are live. StreamYard tells me we're live, and who am I to doubt? It hasn't let us down before. So welcome. Wherever you're watching this, if you're watching this in Facebook land, in the JHM group, or indeed on my Facebook page, Johnny Cooper Global, or indeed streaming onto my personal profile, which I think it probably is, you're very welcome. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, that'll be rather strange because not many people do, but welcome if you are. And bizarrely, you might even be watching this on Twitter if you're very much an outlier. But good to see you, and what a fantastic way to finish the week. I just love these Thank Flip It's Friday sessions because we always seem to touch a nerve or two and find some way to kind of move your business forward in an interesting way, some way that grabs your attention. So hi to Mimi, hi to Hillary. Can I just say, I just want to do one thing here. If you look along the bottom of the screen, there is a link there. It says StreamYard.com/Facebook. And StreamYard is this platform that you're watching this on, watching and listening. And I would like you to go to that site if you haven't, StreamYard.com/Facebook. Just click a button because it gives StreamYard then permission to show your name in the comments thread here. Otherwise, it shows you annoyingly as Facebook user. And I don't know who the bloody hell you are. So if you're here, if you're watching this live or on the recording, say hi in the comments, please. Let's say hi, so we can see you. Roy's here. Hope Natalie's watching too, or you're watching on their behalf. If you're watching this live, just give us a hi in the comments because I thrive off your energy, and give us some thumbs and some hearts as well. That all helps. That'll be very good. So there's a couple of you in the comments here appearing as a Facebook user. The way to cure that is to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and just click a button on that page, and it gives StreamYard permission forevermore to display your Facebook name. Hello, Gregory. Nice to see you, my friend. So what are we going to do today? I bet you're thinking, well, this is what we're going to do because I want to deliver on what I promised before. So there's a scrolling headline on the bottom there, which is a bit annoying because it's moving, but we can probably make it not a ticker. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how to do it. Perhaps make it stay without scrolling along. I don't know. There's probably a way to do it. Making sales without selling. That sounds like something impossible to do, doesn't it? Why you should never close another deal. Again, isn't that what we want to do? Close deals? Well, look, in the spirit of Thank Flip It's Friday. By the way, if I look like I'm going outside, it's just because it's soon to be October in the UK, and this is not known to be a tropical climate, shall we say, at this time of year. So I've got my thingy on rather than turning the heat up. Just keep warm. We are a stoic breed in Northern Europe, to say the least. So look, making sales without selling, why you should never close a deal or close another deal. Let me go back into the comments here. Stuart's here, I can see. Before we start on the meat of what we're talking about today, and I promise you will go away with at least 2 or 3 actionable insights, things you can take away and implement in your business straight away, if not over the weekend and early next week. So I promise you that. I always promise you that. Before we do, just a little bit of a catch up as to what's going on. We've published a new banner, which is subtly different to the old banner in JHM. And what we've done, we've framed the message, which Lisa and I feel completely encapsulates the reason that you guys are here. And I hope it does. Just give us a thumb if you like the message. The message is as follows. Turn your expertise into the perfect online business. So turn your expertise into the perfect online business. Give us a thumb or a yay or something if you like that. Because what we're trying to drill down to is the real reason that you guys are in this group. And for the last 5 years, I've become aware and more aware that there are so many skilled practitioners in our group: therapists, coaches, consultants, healers, change makers, in general. We're surrounded by them. We've got an embarrassment of riches when it comes to your skills and abilities. So you're an expert. If you're watching this, you are an expert. There's no doubt about it. But the missing link always is, how do I turn that into a business? And importantly, in our environment, how do you turn that into an online business so that you're not visiting clients, that clients don't have to come to you? So you're not reliant on a local audience. And indeed, you can go to the whole world and attract clients from anywhere. Not only that, of course, when you're online, if this is something you want to do, you can work from anywhere in the world as well. So you can be on a workation or something else like that in a different part of the world, and you can still work. You can still attract your clients. So the secret to this, as we've said in our new banner, this is a mission statement which will probably endure, I'd imagine, well into 2023. This is our mission: to turn your expertise into the perfect online business. That's what we're here for. So give us a yay if you like that. Give us a thumb or a yay if you like the idea of that. Yeah, we've got some hearty eyes from Coralie and a thumb from Hillary. That's good. Just give us a yay if you like the idea of that, turning your expertise into the perfect online business, whatever that means to you, of course. So a really important part of this, guys, is getting people onto your program that you can help. I've been kind of building up to today with a few little practice posts and a few little sort of statements and memes in the group this week. There's one earlier where we talked about, if you feel bad about the idea of selling to people, just remember you're helping. You're not selling. You're helping them, and because you can't help them unless they come on board as a paying client and buy your stuff. And that really summarizes our whole approach and what we're getting you to do. What we're demonstrating to you by the way that we show up every day. We want you to do the same for your ideal clients. We want you to enter their world, in the spirit of loving curiosity. This is a phrase that Lisa Crofton framed to me a few months back, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. It sums up the ethos behind everything we try to do here. Loving curiosity. Aren't those two lovely words? Loving curiosity. And this means that when you see someone that you'd like to help, you start to get curious, you start to think, how can I help this person? What's missing in their life that I might be able to help them with? And if you carry that spirit with you into every possible client interaction, every prospect interaction, this will infuse your content, your posts, your emails, your messages, comments that you make on other people's posts. It'll certainly infuse messages that you send to people, individual direct messages and emails. And more importantly than that, it'll infuse your static content, what we might call your branding. The banner on your group, the banner on your personal profile, the banner on your business page, if you've got one of them, your LinkedIn banner. All this will be infused with the spirit of loving curiosity. Because what we want to achieve is we want your ideal clients to discover you for the first time and get the feeling that you're the kind of person that can help them. They also need to get the feeling, don't they, that other people like them work with you, which is the essence of our community. So we can keep it on point today. The part of the process, the part of your business process that we're going to focus on today is client enrollment. Getting people into your paid program so that two wonderful things happen. Number one, you get to help them. And that is a wonderful thing in anybody's terms. And number two, you get paid, which is a wonderful thing again, isn't it, in your terms? So we've got to think about this as opening a relationship with someone that you can help. And that's why, as we're scrolling across the screen at the bottom, stop thinking about this as closing deals. Stop thinking about this process as selling something to somebody, because that's a unidirectional thing, isn't it? I sold this person my program. Yeah. I made a sale. Apart from anything else, it's you centric, isn't it, rather than them centric. But whenever we achieve an enrollment and the client achieves an enrollment, it's a two-way thing, isn't it? Guess which partner in that deal gets the most out of it? I'm trying to get my fingers in the right place here because this camera is mirroring everything I'm doing. So when I stick this hand up, it's actually the other hand that goes up. It's really weird. Thanks, StreamYard, for doing that. Guess which partner in this relationship gets the most out of it? And if the answer is, well, you, because you're getting money, then that's entirely the wrong framing, isn't it? We need to flip that through 180, because all you're going to get from a client relationship, aside from the reward of helping them, of course, which is why we're doing, but all you're going to get is paid once, maybe on a recurring thing, but nevertheless, there's an amount of money that you get paid. Now, if you're doing your job right, they're going to get much more than they're paid for, aren't they? They're going to get a lifetime of transformation. I know some of you guys, probably on this call today, have such a deep impact on your clients that their lives are never the same again. In fact, let's have a little bit of a poll. Fingers on keyboards, please. If you're watching this live or on the recording, get on your keyboard now and tell us the biggest thing that our clients ever got from working with you. Think back into your back catalogue. And I've just done a few words, just describing it in a sentence. Something that somebody got from you, the biggest impact you ever had with a client. And let's have a look at these things. Let's have a look at the list. I've got another question after you've typed that, which is going to relate to the transformation that you gave your clients. So I want you just to type a sentence, please, in the chat so we can see it. What's the biggest thing a client ever got from working with you? The biggest transformational benefit, the biggest life change? And we'll talk about these. So, right. So, Coralie, peace after a life of stress. Goodness me, can you imagine if you'd spent the whole of your life being stressed to that point, and all of a sudden Coralie breezes in, flicks a switch or whatever over a period of working with her, and they get a lifetime of peace. Right. Now, Facebook user, I want to read yours out because yours is wonderful. However, I don't know who you are. So if you can either say who you are, or better still, go to, you're bored with me saying this, that's all on the bottom of the screen here, streamyard.com/Facebook. Just log into that if you can and give them permission to display your name, because this is a wonderful one. I don't want to lose this one. So this says, sober life and life back from living on the street. Now, can you even start to think about, in our relatively comfortable lives with a roof over our heads, what that must be like living on the street? Yeah. And what it must have been like to not have to do that anymore. That is, in every definition of the phrase, completely and utterly life-changing, isn't it? And this very Facebook user would have got paid something for that. Probably a relatively small amount of money, I would imagine. Let's have a look. They won 40,000. It's Birdie. Hello, Birdie. They won £40,000. Okay, found a home, found premises to act in their profession and well-being, to practice professional well-being. Yeah, that's fantastic, isn't it? And as Birdie then admits, the question was, what did you get out of it? Not much. Not much. Not much. Kika, hello, Kika. How lovely to see you, my dear. Depression gone, anxiety gone. Again, what's the opposite of that happening? If you don't rid yourself in your life of a feeling of depression and perpetual anxiety, that's a downward spiral, isn't it? And it usually don't end well. So for Kiki to intervene and overcome depression, anxiety, that is absolutely priceless, isn't it? I'll just show you a couple more from HJM here. Lost their first show up online. That's a nice one as well. As Roger said, they got excited about the business here, about the potential. And when you're excited about your business, you can thrive, can't you? You can be a success. You can make money. A lack of excitement probably indicates the opposite in your business. So, in summary, as Hilary says, your client gets the best deal because they get you. Yeah. So let's agree with that. I can't disagree with that. That absolutely encapsulates everything. So the point we've just made, I think, the point we've just proven is that your clients are going to get more out of this relationship than you are. All you get is the payment you've negotiated. And, that money in and of itself will be spent very, very soon. Heating, lighting, groceries, mortgage, you get the idea. And you got to earn some more money then after that. But conversely, on the other side of the relationship, these people are changing their lives every day. You're changing their lives for them and with them, aren't you? So please understand this. When you consider starting a conversation with someone who looks like your ideal client, you're not here to sell them something. You're here to change their lives. You're here to help them. So let's think about how we can rename this. Hard selling is something which I think is probably an idea that nobody in this room is going to take on board. You don't want to be known as somebody who hard sells people and things. But what we should do, and let's make no mistake, we should go out of our way to make it as easy as possible for people to join your program or to buy your services. We call it frictionless in marketing. Remove the friction from the process. And I'm going to leave you today before we finish with some key ideas as to how to remove the friction, from the process of them enrolling on your program. And why do we call this? Why do we call this hard helping instead of hard selling? Some of you might have heard me use this framework before, but give us a yay in the comments if you like the idea of hard helping as a substitute, a replacement for hard selling. Do you like the idea of hard helping? Give us a yay in the comments if that resonates with you, if that sounds like something you'd like to do. And I'll give you some ideas how we can do that. So hard helping, we're going to call it. Give us a yay or squeal or jump up and down or something. Yeah, we've got a yay from Kika. Looks like a yes from Birdie, I'm guessing. Yay, says Hillary. Give us a yay to hard helping if we like that idea. This seems to me like a much more useful framing, doesn't it, than the idea of having to get good at selling things to people. As I said earlier, selling to me seems like a one-way transaction. I sold this person this thing. Okay. I made a sale today. It's all about you, isn't it? We don't want to approach our enrollment calls like that. So I'm going to give you a couple more sort of mindset tips to get you in the right space, get you in the right headspace for enrollment conversations. So what we've covered already is, number one, that they stand to gain much more from it than you do. So they'll gain a lifetime of transformational benefit. And we've proven it, haven't we? You give them these incredible, examples on the page, things like this and this and this. So that's number one, isn't it? That's the number one mindset framing, if you like, for you. What I mean by that is that, if you believe that and you know that to be true, then you will have no qualms at all about hard helping them, to get them on your program. So let me just undo this comment. There we go. So that's the first thing. They're going to get more of it than you are. The second thing is this, and I know what this is like because I've been here many, many times before in my life when there's a lot riding on a particular client joining a program. Give us a yeah if you've ever felt when you're talking to someone that you really need to make this sale. You really need to get this client on board. Give us a yay if that's ever happened to you. If I've been in conversation with someone you've thought I really could do with making this sale. I really need to do this. I really need the money from this sale. Give us a yeah if that's ever crossed your mind when you've been talking to people. Um, I've certainly been in that position in the past, where there hasn't been a lot of money around, and you kind of think, I need to make this happen. Hillary Jane, I felt the desperation. Yeah, there's nothing to be ashamed of, by the way. This is just a normal part of being in business. At some point, you can probably think of, a pivotal moment where everything changed for you. You made a big sale or something like this. But I would encourage you not to think like that and never to think like that. And here's the framing to get in your mind. There is never a client-shaped hole in your business that only they can fill. Okay, so write that down if you want. There's never a client-shaped hole in my business that only they can fill. Never a client-shaped hole in my business that only they can fill. And if you understand that and you believe that, and you embody that whole approach, then you'll never be in a situation where your client sniffs desperation. You'll never be in a situation where you put inordinate pressure on yourself to actually make a particular sale. Now, the obvious, the observation around that has to be that you need to enroll some clients sometime. You need to make some sales, if you like, otherwise you don't have a business. But in any particular situation, in any particular prospect situation, you don't need to make that sale with that person and enroll that person on your program. What this then enables you to do is to conduct the conversations in a relaxed way with a detachment from the outcome. And how many more occasions are there in our business where outcome detachment is essential? Think about this. You make a post. You don't know whether it's going to work or not. I don't know whether it's going to work or not when I post something. I don't know whether anyone's going to engage or react to it. I don't know if the algorithm's going to pick it up. Now, if I worried about all those things in advance, I probably wouldn't make a post. And exactly the same with your enrollment conversation. If you worry about whether this client's going to join, whether they're going to pay you, whether they're going to think it's too expensive, whether they're going to like the program or not when they hear about it, and that's going to put you off, isn't it, from booking the conversations. And we call this outcome detachment. So in other words, focus on the bits you can control and completely ignore the things that you can't on the basis that they'll take care of themselves. So another way to think of this, guys, is inputs versus outputs. So if you think of the output being a successful client enrollment, the input to that is going to be setting up the conversation because you can control that. You can book a conversation with somebody. You can start a conversation with someone. That's your input, isn't it? What you can't control is the output, not directly anyway. You can increase the odds of one matching the other, but you've got no way of knowing whether a particular client's going to want to join your program or even whether they're going to show up on the call, right? Or, whether they might think it's too expensive or, whatever. You have no way of controlling that. So let's get a bit of agreement on this, that what I'm going to ask you to do is just give us a yay in agreement that inputs beat outputs, that you can't control the outcome. And therefore, you have to be prepared to detach yourself from the outcome of a sales conversation. Give us a yeah if you're happy with that as an idea. Don't focus on the outcome of having to sell. Focus on the input of wanting to help someone. Give us a thumb or a yay or some kind of heart or something. We thrive on your energy. If that makes sense, and also if that's helping, is that helping to move your thinking on all this as well? You know, we're all guilty of getting too wrapped up in possible outcomes, aren't we? Whereas not doing that at all is probably going to get a better outcome. Let's just go down the list here. We've got a bunch of thumbs. We've got some yays. I agree, says Coralie. By the way, if you're showing up on this screen as Facebook user, just go to Facebook. Just go to streamyard.com/Facebook, and you can get StreamYard to display your. Yeah. So just get out of it. You know, get out of your head. Get out of this idea that you've got to make a sale to this particular person, and you know, closing the deal is what it's all about, basically. All right, so I promised I would give you a couple of things to take away. So these takeaways on the Thank Flip It's Friday sessions are little nuggets, little tiny micro tactics or strategies which you can take away and implement in your business. And I want you to do these next time you're talking to someone. In fact, you know, I want you to implement these around the whole concept of talking to somebody. So the first thing is this: to decide, by reverse engineering your business model, decide how many conversations you want to have over a period, over a particular point in time. And month by month is a good way to measure this. Now, let me tell you the business model in JHM. So our business model in JHM is that once a month, we launch 2 intakes of our client attraction blueprint program. And I'm just going to show you something here in our group just to prove that we're very, very serious about this. And I'm also going to shout out to some lovely people. So I'm going to share a screen. So buckle in, just watch this. You are going to like this. You will like this. So, okay. So here's the screen share. What you can see here, and I'll just magnify this a little bit, is the following. So this is a little mosaic that we put together with the 8 wonderful and inspiring entrepreneurs who've enrolled themselves onto the Client Attraction Blueprint this month. Now, with each and every one of these ladies, I had discussions. Lisa's had discussions as well with some of them. And the conclusion of this is that, you know, we were very firm that we wanted to help all these lovely ladies. Coralie, I think you're here on this call today. And they decided for their part that they wanted us to help them as well. So a very symbiotic process, you know, very much a two-way street. These ladies decided this month that they wanted to join the program. And in fact, we started 2 days ago on Wednesday, the 28th of September, with CAB 79 and CAB 80. So the first 4 are CAB 79 and CAB 80. Now, I'm just saying those numbers just to illustrate an important cornerstone of our business. And that is that we have a plan. We have a sales model, if you like. We have an enrollment model that we will help 8 people each and every month that goes by enrolling them onto our 12-week program. So therein lies the first lesson. This is the first takeaway for you. If you have an offer and you know who your ideal client is that needs and wants and will benefit from that offer, then build a business model around it. Say to yourself, I'm going to launch this program on the, I don't know, 16th of October. And every 2 months, every 3 months, every 1 month in our case, you know, we're going to get 4 people on the program, 8 people, 12 people, whatever it is. Nail that business model. Make those decisions. Guys, these are your choices. You get to decide these things. But for God's sake, decide something. Decide something. Decide how frequently you're going to launch this thing and how many people you want to get on it. That then becomes the beating heart of your business. And what you can do then, I used this phrase earlier, you can reverse engineer the inputs, because don't forget, 8 people joining your program every month is the output, isn't it? And you might say, well, you know, how can I control that? Well, you kind of can't exactly, but indirectly you can, because over time you will start to understand if 8 enrollments is the outcome that you want, based on averages, how many calls do you have to book to make those 8 sales? Let's keep it simple. Let's say it's 40%. That then means that during the month, you need 20 calls. Say, why is that simple? Because guess what? There's round about 20 working days in an average month, isn't there? This means that each and every day during the month, you get one call, one conversation with somebody you haven't spoke to before. There's your business model, right? There's your goal. All you got to do to make 8 sales a month, if those other figures are right, is set up a call a day. Be prepared to start a conversation with somebody every single day that you haven't spoken to before. In the spirit of love and curiosity, of hard helping. You're not there to sell them anything, you're there to just find out if you can help them, and if so, how. So do we like that? Do we like the exactness there, the precision? And by the way, those numbers pretty much correspond to our activity in JHM. So for the outcome to be 8 people enrolled, we're going to be conducting around about 20 sales calls, about one a day between Lisa and me. So this is not an incredible amount of work. This is not, a huge task, having back-to-back calls day in, day out, wearing yourself out and falling out of love with your business. This is just in a spirit of loving curiosity, tapping people on the shoulder, and I'll give you the words to say in a minute, and starting a conversation with them. That's all we need to do. Do we think that's doable? Does that sound like something that you could do? The question is building a business model around the product you want to sell, working back as to how many calls you want to do to get that outcome. Does that sound like something you could do? I'd really like you all to do this. I'd like you to do this. Go away today and actually make a statement about how many calls you need. Because you know what we said on the new banner, which is as follows: turn your expertise into the perfect online business. So business is the key word here. Every other business has targets. Every other business has stuff that you do from morning till night. There's a new coffee shop opened on the corner by Oscar's school, and I walk past it in the morning. Every morning, around about 8:30, the guy's there winding up his window blinds, setting out the tables, cleaning out the coffee machine, standing behind the till, ready to start his day's work. There's a process. It's a business. It's a real business. If you're to have a real business too, you need that process as well. You need to understand how many conversations you're going to start on a monthly basis and spread them out. Oftentimes, one a day is the right number. And, I find myself saying time and time again to people, look, just start one conversation a day with somebody you haven't spoken to before. Do you think that's doable? Is that something you could do? Could you? And give us a yes here, please. In fact, give us a hell yes. I want to see a hell yes. So these are different from the yes. Give us a hell yes if you think you could start one conversation a day with somebody you haven't spoken to before, in the spirit of loving curiosity, hard helping. Give us a hell yeah if you could start one conversation a day with somebody you haven't spoken to before. I think you could. I don't think this is difficult at all. Hell yes. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Natalie, love you, Natalie. We'll have to get together again when we're down south, won't we, Natalie? Hell yeah, hell yeah. Come on. Hell yes, birdie. Right, brilliant. Okay. If you're willing to do that, let me just give you a little tactical level thing before we go then, which will enable you to do this. And this all starts from you developing a radar. David's here, by the way. Let me just, there you go. Just so you know, you're not alone in this. You probably can't see all these comments, but this is at least 10 of you who have committed to being able to do this. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more, guys. Thank you for being so communicative today. It means a lot. So I promise you a little tactic, because clearly you might be thinking, well, okay, start one conversation a day. Sounds doable. How do we do it? How do we go about it? Let me give you the exact tactic here and now. And this is using two parts of your social media ecosystem. The one is the one is posts, and the other is direct messages. So write this sentence down if you want. When you spot someone by their comments or their reactions or their posts in social media who looks like your next ideal client, then reach out to them with a direct message. Link that direct message to the comment they've made or the post they've made, the way they've shown up on social media, and say, hey, saw your comment, feel your pain, loving your work, brilliant post, something like that. Link it, hook the direct message to the action that they've taken, the way they've shown up, and just say, I've got an idea for you. I might be able to help. I've got an idea for you. I might be able to help. Very next thing you want to say, just to square the circle, let's jump on a quick call sometime soon. See if I can share anything useful. Let's jump on a quick call sometime soon, see if I can share anything useful. Now, it's as soft as that, isn't it? It's as soft as that. Now, that does two things. Firstly, it sets their mind at rest that this isn't a sales approach. And secondly, it sets your mind at rest because there's no sales imperative in the conversation when you have it, when you start the call. You're not there to sell them anything. You've told them you're not there to sell them anything. You're just saying, let's jump on a quick call, see if I can share anything useful. How nice is that? Loving curiosity, it's called, in Lisa's words. Loving curiosity. I am so curious when I see someone who's floundering in a certain way or clearly hasn't quite got their ducks in a row. I'm curious. How can we make that better for them? How can we help them? What do we think about this approach? Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's have a different thing instead of just this hell yay thing. Give us a number, honestly. How many times this week, because we're on Friday, aren't we? How many times from Monday this week have you sent a message like that to somebody, to a contact, to somebody you've found on social media? How many times this week have you done that? Be honest with Johnny. How many times have you sent a message like that this week to someone? Mimi's done it 3 times. Hillary's done 5 yesterday. Fantastic. 0, says Birdie. Yeah. It needs to be more than 0, doesn't it? Twice. Every single day, on some days more than once. 3 people, says David. Yeah. Well, I'm ever so glad because you're getting the message. You're getting the message, you guys. Okay, so next question is, how many people have responded positively to you doing that? In other words, how many conversations did you get set up? Let's just get a little bit of social proof about this in the comments. That's the next question. If you have commented with a number, give us the next number. How many people responded positively? He's got 0 for 3 at the moment. Hillary did 5 yesterday, and okay. So how interesting. So the devil is in the detail here. Good responses, says Coralie. Beginning a connection. All replies were positive, says Natalie. So what we've got to bear in mind here, if we're not getting immediate success on this, we have to tweak it. We have to tweak some part of the process. because the process is robust, the process works, but there are more ways to spoil it and to stop it working than there are to do it right. So we've got to be very specific about the approach here. Firstly, we have to identify people who genuinely look like we can help them and who've expressed by their post or their comment something that we think we can help them with. And then in the spirit of love and curiosity, we go to them and say, I think I might be able to help. I'm not sure, but let's jump on a quick call sometime, see if I can share anything useful. Now, anything beyond that is likely to break the process. Anything to say, look, this is what I do for a living. I've got a program that might work for you. I've got an offer that we've got at the moment, and, let's talk about it. Let's talk about how I can help you. All those things are just a little bit too advanced at this point, a little bit too forward, shall we say. Because what we're doing is we're nurturing the relationship, aren't we, stage by stage. So we've got point one where we spotted them in social media, so from someone we think we can help them with. Point two is reach out and suggest that we might have an idea. Not sure, but I might have an idea that can help. Let's jump on a quick call, see if I can share anything useful. This sounds so soft and gentle and friendly that more people are going to say yes to that than say no. And the only other thing we need to do to square that circle and make that a reality for us is pop a scheduling link in the very next comment. So, grab a slot and we can talk, or find a space that suits and we can talk. So anything that we're doing in the message beyond that is likely to be counterproductive. It's likely to be going on too far. And, it's a really, really interesting part of sales philosophy, this, that talking yourself out of a selling environment is super, super easy. So easy. The more words you use, the more you say, the deeper you go into it, the more platitudes and pleas and requests and calls to action, the more likely people are to find something that turns them off. And that's why we adopt this bare bones approach to our direct message. I saw your comment, saw your post. I might have an idea for you. Let's jump on a quick call, see if I can share something useful. No detail about what's going to go on in the call, because at that point, you've got no idea. You've got no idea how the call's going to go. You really don't know whether you can help them. And that's genuine, isn't it? I might be able to help you. Might not. Let's have a quick chat. Now, provided that you are fishing in a pool of your ideal clients, you're not going to be wasting an awful lot of time on these calls, because most of the people that come on the calls are going to be perfect for you. They won't all join. Like I've said before, a 40 to 50, 60% conversion rate is optimal on these calls. But you're going to get lots and lots of people taking you up if you frame it in that very simple way, a very laid back way. I might have an idea to help. Let's jump on a call and see what pops out, see if I can share anything useful. So if you're not adopting that very framing at the moment in those words, or very, very similar, try, over the next few days with that really, really simple bare bones approach. You're not getting into, you don't want to be getting into conversations in direct messages. You don't want to be lengthening the string. And, the further you get into conversation in a direct message, the more likely you are to turn people off. I don't at all want to be crude today, but it's Friday, so hell. In a dating environment, there is a concept called the friend zone, isn't there? Friend zone. All familiar with what that means? This is where you have such lengthy and detailed conversation with someone that they start to regard you as a friend before they regard you as a lover or a potential mate. Yeah. And, any dating coaches will tell you that, holding back until you are past first base or second base, I promise you I wouldn't be too crude, but you get the idea, right? So if you think of this environment where we're looking to enroll people so we can help them, as a metaphor for personal relationships and dating, then we've got to bear in mind that we have to get past first base, and first base is um, a direct conversation with someone, isn't it? We're not going to sell high ticket programs in Messenger generally. Once in a while, it happens miraculously, oftentimes not. Nor are we going to send them to a page where they can go and buy something and just download it, unless it's a very inexpensive, well explained offer. So in the environment where we're playing, which is high ticket programs, the conversation is everything, isn't it? So we need to get to that point as quickly as possible. So I'm going to address directly here Natalie and Hillary and Facebook user and Mimi, and just say, look, the process works. The bit which is not working yet is probably the approach that you're making, because they're either confused over what they might get or they don't want what you're asking them to do in the comment. So please adopt this very simple, very bare framework, which is, I might have an idea that can help. Let's jump on a quick call, see if I can share anything useful. You are going to get 50 to 75% take up on that very message, I promise you. So, marvelous. Nurturing the relationship, says David. Yeah. So I hope that's been useful. Just to summarize where we've got to today. Stop selling. Start helping. Definitely don't ever hard sell. Hard help if you need to. This means when you are talking to someone that you can help, go out of your way to make it as easy as possible for them to join your program, join your business. We talked, didn't we, about the mental framing, your inner game, which is understanding that these people are going to get more from the relationship than you are once they come on board. All you get is, the single one-off payment or payment plan or whatever. They get a lifetime benefit. And where we started today is where I think we should finish, because don't ever lose sight, guys, of your glorious gifts. And your glorious gifts are things like this. They get excited about their business again. They get peace after a life of stress. Goodness me, they lost their fear of showing up online. Depression gone forever, anxiety gone. This one I particularly loved. I mean, this is Birdie Brown's incredible work. Client changed her mindset and feeling terrified she'd never heal, seeing that she would, embracing her doctor instead of blaming them. Goodness me. And all this kind of thing. So, just wonderful, wonderful work that you guys are doing. But all this, guys, stems from your ability to get into conversation with somebody you think you can help. So I want you to commit to this, please, over the next few days and coming weeks. We've got 1/4 of this year left. The last day of September, right? Tomorrow is October. October, November, December, and it's all over. That's 2022 in the bin, in the dustbin of history, right? So I want you to make this quarter the best quarter of the year, and I want you to springboard into 2023, knowing that that can be your best year ever. And how we're going to do this, we're going to get really, really good at engaging people in simple, loving conversations where they understand that you really care about them and you really want to help them. That's the bottom line. So over the next few weeks, embed a process into your business where you're saying, okay, every single day before the sun goes down, I'm going to start a conversation with one person I haven't spoken to before. And if you can commit to that, my work here is done. That is fantastic. So there's your Friday flip. Stop selling, start helping. Have a fantastic weekend. Go away and do this. And stay close in the group. Let us know how you go on. Love you guys. See you later.